What's happening, people? We are here. We are live. Happy Saturday. How's your evening going? Arsenal are the champions of Europe. The women, not the men. The women. Just did a watch along for that. That was a very, very tough watch, if I'm being very honest. But as always, Manchester United don't really like us to have a quiet day. There is never a quiet day in the world of Manchester United news. Let's be honest. There's always something in the world of Manchester United. And today, David Ornstein drops a huge bombshell while Twitter is down, by the way. So if you read The Athletic and you've got your notifications turned on the app, you would have probably been notified about the article. But David Ornstein dropping a bomb that Ruben Amorim will remain at Manchester United and has publicly told Garnacho to find a new club. He has no future at Manchester United, will not be part of the matchday squad tomorrow. His time at Manchester United is over, finished. 3 seasons at senior level for Manchester United, and it ends in a toxic fashion. We've got a lot to talk about. Al-Hilal priced Bruno at £100 million. They've offered him a crazy deal, ridiculous deal. I mean, if he doesn't take it, he loves the game, clearly. So we're going to talk about that. Manchester United also been linked to AC Milan's goalkeeper, Maignan. We're going to speak about that. We're also going to speak about Ruben Amorim confirming that he's staying for the next season to the players, and it's basically been publicly confirmed by David Ornstein as well. And what does that mean for Manchester United? So make sure you guys hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new here. We are a couple of subscribers away from hitting 14.1k. The road to 15k starts now, or should I say the road to 20k. 20k is the goal by the end of the calendar year. Hussam says thoughts on Wirtz to Liverpool. I did a whole video on him, and go check it out. Go check it out. Ten Hag Sancho link up at Bayer Leverkusen. Yeah, and some news outside of Manchester United, by the way. Bayer Leverkusen have agreed to appoint Erik ten Hag as their newest head coach. Maybe that means maybe Anthony might be reunited. I don't know. I really don't know. But good luck to Erik ten Hag at Bayer Leverkusen. That's all I have to say. I've just been able to come online since Wednesday, man. Man United traumatized me. You chose a difficult day to come online with this Garnacho news. That's for sure. I mean, Man United's season essentially is done, right? It's been done. Tomorrow, that game against Aston Villa, it's so funny because I see us losing and then people just losing the plot and saying, oh, we're so crap with this, with that. I don't think anyone expects anything from Man United tomorrow. I don't expect anything from Manchester United tomorrow. So I just tell you lot to not expect anything either. For me, the season Alhamdulillah, sorry about that, guys. For me, the season was over ages ago. Like the Premier League season was over months ago. And so much was riding on the idea of Europa League final, and that's done. So tomorrow, are any of you actually going to watch the Aston Villa game? That's a question to you guys. Is anyone going to watch the Aston Villa game tomorrow between Manchester United and Aston Villa? I'm really intrigued to see the welcoming that the players get at Old Trafford. I'm curious to see if they're going to be singing, Ruben Amorim. I'm very curious to see all of that stuff. I'm curious to see what Amorim goes with in terms of the starting 11. Are we going to see, because historically on the final day of the season when United have nothing to play for, we've seen a lot of academy players get their opportunity to make their debut, right? Savage, Charlie Savage, Zidane Iqbal, etc. Like we've seen that happen. So maybe tomorrow could be an opportunity for, Chido to start, maybe Sekou Kone to start, Harry Amas will start, Collier will start. Like that's what I'm expecting to see. Ruben Amorim has nothing to prove tomorrow. And I think certain players will definitely not play. I think certain players will not play, especially the players where there's uncertainty surrounding their future. So let's actually start with the biggest bombshell news for me. I was not expecting this bombshell of a news. 3:52 today, David Ornstein announces that Ruben Amorim has informed Manchester United squad that he will remain in charge next season, and he's also notified Alejandro Garnacho to find a new club. Now, following the defeat after the Europa League, he's insisted that he will not quit. And sources with knowledge of the matter, speaking anonymously to protect their relationship, indicate that Amorim addressed all the players at Carrington on Saturday, informed them of his plans, and in front of the whole squad, told Garnacho that he needs to leave. He made an example of him in the dressing room, which is interesting to me. Now, Garnacho's brother has also posted a message on Instagram saying his brother has been thrown under the bus by Amorim. This was after the Europa League final. And then obviously Garnacho comes out after the game and makes those comments to Argentinian media. Now, let me ask you a question, because what it seems like from here, I'm in two ways about it. I totally agree with this decision, by the way. I totally agree with this decision for Garnacho to leave. I think Amorim has been calculated with his decision to announce this in front of the squad, because it's one thing to meet with the team on Saturday before a Premier League game and say, listen guys, I'm staying for another season, so this is what my plan is, blah blah blah. But this is how I envisioned that it went. I envisioned that they were in Carrington, they were in a meeting room, because that's where those meetings normally happen. They're in a meeting room after a training drill or something. And then he said, yeah, guys, I'm staying. These are my plans. We're going to try to recruit some players. This is what I want to improve on next season. But, oh, by the way, Garnacho, find a new club, because you're not playing at this team anymore. That's how I imagine that it went. That's how I imagine how it went. I've seen a lot of people saying they're not happy with that. The fact that Ruben Amorim has reportedly done it in front of the whole squad rather than behind closed doors. But the way that I see it is, they're a team. Yeah. There should be no faults with things playing out in front of the squad, especially something like this, because Ruben Amorim and Garnacho, this situation has played out publicly. It's played out publicly, right? Amorim decided to say what he said in the press conference, which I don't even think it was a matter of him throwing Garnacho under the bus. Garnacho, for me, was wrong to say what he said. Like, you can think it. I'll be honest, you can think it, because a lot of people were thinking it. But my problem is that it's not just Garnacho saying it publicly, it's his brother that's saying it as well. I remember when Harry Maguire's family used to defend him publicly when he was getting death threats and bomb threats and whatnot. And people were saying, why is his family, being his spokesperson publicly? Garnacho's brother has been doing this for a minute, right? Garnacho's brother has been doing this for a while now. He's been snide, I remember when Sancho left and he was liking posts about when Ugarte got given the 25 shirt and Sancho left, and someone must have posted saying my 25. I think his brother posted it saying my number 25, and he posted a picture of Ugarte. It's just, for me, it's unnecessary drama and it's unnecessary theatrics that are occurring at Manchester United. And we talk about a culture shift. We talk about a culture change. We talk about this toxic nature at Manchester United, how player power has continuously been able to succeed. This is an example of player power being stomped out, right? And I think it's 100% warranted. Now, people might look at it on the flip side, right? They might look at it the flip side and think, hold on a minute. You're telling me that Amorim has fell out with Garnacho and Marcus Rashford, and has basically publicly made an example of both of them? People are going to look at it like that. People are totally going to look at it like that. But I think this is a necessity for me, for Amorim to sort this crap out. Excuse my language. Now, cast your minds back, by the way, to when Marcus Rashford was dropped before the derby. Who was dropped with Marcus Rashford? Do you guys remember? Who was dropped with Marcus Rashford? Alejandro Garnacho. This is not Garnacho's first rodeo of having issues with Amorim. Amorim came in. Now, Marcus Rashford stole the news titles, right? He stole the news titles because he's Marcus Rashford. Garnacho was dropped with him, right? And on top of that, after that derby, I don't know if you guys remember, Garnacho was coming off the bench for a long time before he actually started, right? He's coming off the bench for a long time. In January, on top of that, you're telling me Garnacho's agent was publicly seen at Stamford Bridge, liaising with Chelsea, trying to get him a move, saying that they're open to, like, they're openly, actively seeking out alternative options for Garnacho. Garnacho is a good player. He's got good potential. But potential is nothing if you have poor attitude. And for me, if potential is nothing and your ability is nothing if you think you are better than what you actually are. There's nothing to say that Garnacho can't be what he thinks he will become, right? Because right now, I think right now in his head, maybe he thinks he's a superstar. There's nothing to say in 5 years' time he can't become a superstar. He maybe can become a superstar. But the reality is, of where you are now and your behavior is not remotely the same. Big up to Nedu with the super chat, says, this is the Sancho Ten Hag issue all over again. Best thing for Ineos is to get both Amorim and Garnacho out of the club and start rebuilding. Do you guys agree? I think the Sancho situation was a bit different just because it didn't play out in the public eye until a long time later, right? And really, what did Sancho say publicly except for the statement that he posted on Twitter? Sancho did, like, I actually think this is worse than the Sancho situation, just because of what I think Garnacho did after the Europa League final. Big up to Nedu with the super chat, by the way, because even if you take it back to, and I point this out all the time, the Europa League final in 2021 when Manchester United lost, look at the interview that all the players did after that game versus the interview that Garnacho did out of the game. I don't know how you can come out after a loss and basically shit on your teammates. Excuse my language, but essentially you're shitting on your teammates. You're basically saying, I helped us get to the final and now the manager didn't play me. And basically that's why we lost. Essentially, that's what he's indirectly saying. The reason why we lost is because I played for 20 minutes when I've been playing throughout the competition, right? When we lost 4-1 to Newcastle, what did he do? We lost 4-1. He's posting a picture on his Instagram. This is the thing. There's too much individualism at Manchester United. And a manager like Amorim, who's already on a rocky road, he doesn't need individualism in his players. He doesn't need players who are independent thinking, who are selfish, essentially. They care about their numbers, their stats. It's okay if we lost 4-1 to Newcastle, because I still got my goal. Like, it's crazy to me. I'm in a nice jersey. Nakata was my favorite Japanese player back then. I love this shirt so much, and I know nothing about anime. I just think it looks nice. Lost 2-1 to Brighton, posted a pic of his offside goal. This is shameless. Let me see what else you lot are saying. Is there anyone in the chat that wants Garnacho to stay? Please do let me know, because I want to hear both sides of the argument. Sancho's issue is ultimately that he's a lazy and overpaid. Garnacho isn't lazy but has a massive ego already. For me, I don't care whether you're lazy or if you got an ego. If you got any of those bad traits, you got to go. If you cannot get rid of those traits that are bad traits to have, like, I have no problem with you having an ego if you are of a Yamal level right now. I have no problem if you got an ego. You know what? It's warranted. But to have an ego at that level, no one at Man United right now should have an ego. We're 17th or 16th in the league. No one should have an ego right now in this team. Absolutely. There's no one in this team that has warranted a season to have an ego. And I'm even talking about, like, Bruno. There's no one in this team right now. And that's why I'm not singling out Garnacho. And I hope you lot don't think I'm singling him out. But some people might even feel like Amorim's making an example of him. Natty says, I want him to stay. Yusuf says, I want Garnacho to stay over Kobe since I believe in him more. Really? You want Garnacho to stay over Kobe? For me, I hate that with Garnacho or Kobe. It's either like one or the other. It's either one or the other. When Garnacho first burst onto the scene, I was really excited to see what he would become, right? Because he was this young player playing in his first season at Man United with his idol. So I was excited to see what he had to offer. But now Yusuf is smoking crack. Come on, man. Don't say that. Minnie, you need a Morocco shirt. I do need a Morocco shirt, Azadine. I do need a Moroccan shirt. I'm going to get one before AFCON, inshallah. I want Amorim out. I want Amorim out. By the way, I saw your email. I'm going to get back to you on it. I want Amorim out because I think Amorim will ruin Mainoo and can't get the squad to function with the few options we have this summer. We'll be back at square one, 10 games into the season. United needs to improve at selling players. McTominay for 20 million looks like a robbery now. It does look like a bit of a robbery. Minna, we have to look at his age and the environment. Are you saying that United's environment has turned him into an egotistical maniac? Okay, I shouldn't use the term maniac, but I think Garnacho always had an ego. And you know what? I'm gonna do some research because I want to know why Atletico Madrid were happy to let him leave. Let's Google it. What was his career like at Atletico Madrid's academy? Ugh, everything that's coming up is about Manchester United. Yeah, and there's nothing about him. I need to find out from Atletico. Any Atletico fans, if you know why he left Atletico, please let me know. I know that obviously Man United came in with more money, etc. But even Getafe, look at him. Look at this, guys. Look at this. He's hopped from, he was at Getafe's academy, Atletico's academy for 5 years, and then Manchester United. That's suspicious. They weren't happy to lose him. Interesting. His ego has driven him to where he is. He needs serious coaching and mentorship to unlock his full potential. That's the thing, right? I think there's nothing wrong with having an ego in football, but having an ego when there's no reason for you to have an ego right now at Manchester United. Yeah, Jack, you do need a bit of an ego to be a professional footballer, but I think there's levels to having an ego. And there's two things. I think you can have an ego publicly and you can have an ego internally. Footballers who have ego, people just in general, forget footballs. If you have an ego internally, no one's going to ever think you're full of yourself. No one's going to think, you're cocky or you're this or you're that because it's internal, right? But inside, you believe in yourself and you think you're better than everyone, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But when you have an ego publicly, coming off the back of the season that Manchester United have had, there's no reason. I think there's no reason for anyone at Manchester United right now to have the ego of any level. And I'm already seeing it. People saying, oh, he scored 10 goals and 11 assists for Man United. Only Bruno's got more than him. Now, it's reported that Man United want £60 million for Alejandro Garnacho. Oh, they wanted 60 million, for Garnacho when Napoli and Chelsea were interested back in January. That price is expected to drop this summer. Now, Manchester United value Alejandro Garnacho at around 60 million, but the latest developments could damage the club's hopes of attracting such a fee. Now, all of the players' potential suitors know he's unwanted by Amorim and a surplus to requirements. And that's why I never like this kind of stuff playing out publicly. I never, ever, ever wanted this stuff to play out publicly because it's the same thing with Jadon Sancho. It's the same thing with Marcus Rashford. It's the same thing with Anthony. When clubs get a sniff of the idea that a player is unhappy at his club or the club don't want him anymore, the club are trying to push him out. They're trying to get rid of him. He's a surplus to requirements. The valuation of the buyer goes down. They're going to be like, oh, you value him at 60. Well, we're going to take 10 million off of that because you guys don't want him and you want to get rid of him. You're so desperate to get rid of him, right? That is one downside to this. We lost Ronaldo, Rashford, Sancho, and Garnacho, but we're leaving Højlund. I think Højlund will leave. The thing is, though, what has Højlund done at Manchester United in comparison to the other four? For me, Ronaldo's in his own bracket. You lot know I'm a Ronaldo fan, innit? So what he did was wrong, but Ronaldo, that's Ronaldo, innit? Ronaldo is GOAT status. Sancho's situation, horrendous. Rashford's situation is unfortunate. Garnacho's situation, unfortunate. Højlund has never publicly, except for that interview that he did, I think it was with the United stand, where reportedly players, his teammates were not happy with him doing an interview with United stand because because they target some players sometimes. That's their opinion. But outside of that, Højlund has never done any of this kind of stuff. After the game, Højlund could have chose to speak to Danish media and say, you know what, this is my thoughts about Manchester United this year. He never did that. Garnacho's the one that went out of his way. He'll go through the mix zone. He walked past Flex and all of them, didn't stop for any of them, but he stopped for the Argentinian media to get his point across. And at that point, his brother had already, like, it was like 10 minutes after kickoff and his brother was posting crap online. This is the thing. Another thing with young footballers, I feel like maybe it's different to how I grew up watching football or even like the last 10 years of football. This young generation of footballers, they've got people around them that talk too much on the internet. Like, there's no reason that your brother should be so actively, you know, posting stuff online with his opinion. Do it off your burner account. Yeah, Casemiro's wife did it, but she didn't even post her opinion per se. She just posted a picture of all of his Champions Leagues to shut everybody up. That's what, for me, like, that's the annoying thing. So when we do this comparative of, oh, why are we keeping Højlund and look at all these other players, Højlund's never done anything publicly to deserve a punishment. Look at Rashford's speech compared to Garnacho after Europa League final. Exactly. Rashford, after the last Europa League final when Man United lost, came out and did media duties with TNT, with the major broadcaster, and basically gave a motivational speech. I was ready to go to war after that speech. I feel like when people show you who they are, we need to take it at face value rather than this obsession of, it's always like, I feel like with football, it's always going to be like, oh, X player, this player is better, or that player is better, or it's Amorim. Right now, it's Amorim versus the players, right? And people are going to side with the managers or the player, depending on who they favoritize. If people want Amorim out, they're going to side with Garnacho. If people want Garnacho out, they're going to side with Amorim. And if people don't care about either, they're just going to be like, I want both of them gone. Now, I think it's interesting that Amorim did perfectly. I think it's interesting that Amorim chose to notify the whole squad today that he is staying and his plans, etc. And then be like, that's basically him marking his territory. You know, like how they do it in the jungle and all of that stuff. He's basically letting them know, I'm staying. These are my plans. And by the way, Garnacho, find yourself a new club. Not even, we're going to sell you. Not even, oh, we might explore options if anybody's interested in you. No, telling you right straight up, find yourself a new club. That means you're not welcome here anymore. And let's be real, Ruben Amorim would not do that without the higher ups approving of it. Because what happened last time a player fell out with the manager? When Sancho fell out with Ten Hag, Ineos came in, they fixed the relationship, quotation marks, and then reintegrated him into the team to send him out on loan. So I don't think Amorim did this without approval from the people senior than him. I don't think so. Are we deep in Amorim single-handedly has gotten rid of Rashford and Garnacho, something we needed? Is that a red flag, though? Now, I remember sporting fans saying that Amorim came in and completely changed the culture of Manchester United. Yeah, I remember of Manchester United, of Sporting. I remember a lot of people were saying that he came in and, you know, it was a cultural shake-up that they needed for many, many years. So that could be one of the outlooks of this. It could be for me, we've spoken so long about player power, players doing things without punishment, players being able to get away with things. And now that happens, it's like, oh, but why is it happening? Why is he falling out with another player? He never fell out with, I don't think he fell out with Garnacho. We don't know what happened with Rashford, but I don't think he's fell out with Garnacho. I think he's done something that Garnacho has done something that Amorim and Man United are not happy with. And as a result, this is the consequence of your actions. If you're old enough to dish it, you're old enough to take it. And for me, it's just unfortunate. Like, I'll be unfortunate. Well done, well done, Amorim. Just lost 10 million plus for Garnacho if we sell him. Yeah, United are probably going to have to take a hit on selling Garnacho compared to maybe what they wanted to sell him for in January. Sorry, Amorim came in a terrible era of Sporting when they lost more than half the team contracts got cancelled and got him through it. So what you say? We got to believe One thing I don't like, though, one thing that I had high hopes for, that academy team that won the FA Youth Cup with Manchester United. Ahmad, Garnacho, later Kobe coming through into the first team. Collier. I like Garnacho. For me, I had very high hopes for him. I never got carried away with. I remember, guys, don't let KG get away with this. KG was saying that we should give Garnacho the number 7 shirt. Do you lot remember before Mount got it? Anyways, side note, I never got that carried away saying we should give him the number 7 shirt. But I was optimistic because of his first season under Erik ten Hag. I thought there was a lot to build off. In the second half of last season, Garnacho's fall off was horrendous. But no one was performing well. This season, he started relatively well. And then the change in style of football has changed, I think, the trajectory of his career at Manchester United. And the ego levels, for me, is one thing. But the fact that you have not even been consistently great throughout the season, you have no leg to stand on. Honestly, you have no leg to stand on. Let me see what you lot are saying. Ineos marketed Nacho and Højlund knowing they are not as talented and now stand to lose money. Get these spin doctors out of my club. Spin doctor is mad. Jacob says it's more of a message of get in line or you're gone, I think, from Amorim's point of view. Maybe. Viva Garnacho. That he got a song. Do you know how many players have been at Man United that don't have a song? Varane, yeah, who gave us everything for a couple of seasons, didn't have a song. Lisandro Martinez doesn't have a song. I don't want to say it, but Paul Pogba. So many players at Manchester United never had a song. And Garnacho got a song. People are saying Viva Garnacho. Do you know how mad it is? Viva Garnacho. Long live Garnacho. That's crazy. Viva Garnacho is mad. Now that you think about it. It's for me, it's unheard of. How much do you lot think is the price tag for Garnacho if United sell him? Well, not if United sell him. When United sell him, inevitably. Carl says, we as fans call players greedy, egotistical, etc. and want players to be loyal. SMH, personal attacks on players you don't know personally is shameful. I'm not personally attacking Garnacho. I'm just criticizing what I see in front of me. And for me, if you want a player to be loyal, you don't come out after European loss and say what you said. Like, that is, for me, damaging to the dressing room. A dressing room that's already damaged, by the way, is already broken. Oh, okay, the comments. Fair enough. United have to be clever and play buying clubs against each other to get a good price. Let me see what you lot are saying. 60, 50 to 60, 55 to 60, 45 to 50. All right, so over 40 million is the general consensus. Over 40 million. People are saying 50 to 55. Yusuf says 50 million is fair, but his real price is 80, 90. Yusuf, I think you're trolling. Yusuf, and I know you said that you would rather keep Garnacho over Kobe as well. So I actually don't think you're trolling anymore. I think you're being legit with 80 to 90 million Great British pounds of the finest currency of King Charles. You're saying he's worth that? Mad. 50 million, yeah. It seems like the general consensus is around 50 million. If Man United can get 50 million for Garnacho plus any add-ons and any kind of sell-on clauses, go for it. Pedro Neto went for 60. That Pedro Neto announcement came out of nowhere, though, didn't it? When Chelsea brought him, I remember all I saw was a David Ornstein post. No, it was Fabrizio. All I saw was a Fabrizio post saying, "Here we go, Pedro Neto to Chelsea," and I was like, "What? This just came out of nowhere." Now, my biggest worry is that Man United get rid of a whole load of players for Ruben Amorim and then part ways with Ruben Amorim. Is that not a worry to you guys? That Ruben Amorim doesn't survive this and he gets sacked by October. United going on like a crazy 10 Premier League games, they lose 8 of them or 7 of them. This is just hypothetical, by the way. And then they sack him, and it's back at square one. You've sold all your wide players. You fell out with half of your team. It's worrying. It's worrying. We've got over 300 people here. I don't even think we've hit 100 likes, guys. We have. Let's try and surpass that. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. Of course, you get to support the growth of the channel. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. Before we actually talk about Ruben Amorim, let's talk about some players that United are linked to, starting with, this just came out of nowhere. But you know what I realized, guys? Pedro being linked to Manchester United, I think there's nothing to it. I think there's absolutely nothing to it. Now, reportedly, Brighton want 80 million for him. I don't think so. I don't think you're getting 80 million. Reportedly, Manchester United are interested in him for 50 to 60 million. I don't think we need another. I don't think we need João Pedro. I think he's a good player. I think he's a good player. If you got 50, 60 million to spend, I'd rather you go out and shit, my mind's just gone blank. If you got 60 million to spend, oh my god, my mind has gone blank. Guys, Mbeumo. I'd rather you go out and buy Mbeumo. Wow, my mind was just blank for a second. But yeah, if you got 60 million to spend, I'd rather you go out and get Mbeumo. I'd rather you go out and get Mbeumo. Firstly, 80, 90 million, Brighton, you lost your damn mind. 80 million, Brighton have lost their damn... Brighton are so used to Chelsea spending stupid money on their players that they think that, you know... I remember when the sporting director or the CEO, whatever, of Brighton sat on Sky Sports after selling Caicedo and that and said that Evan Ferguson was going to go for 100 plus million a couple of seasons ago. You're lucky to get 20 million for him now. You'd be lucky to get 20 million for Ferguson now. Brighton like this model of just... Belieber is the only guy I'll be like, you know what? How much are they asking for? 80 million. If we can get it down to 60, 70, I would go for it. I would actually go for it. But because they're so used to Chelsea paying £55,000 billion per player, I don't see João Pedro going for that price. I really don't. I don't see anyone paying it, in my opinion. Another player that Manchester United are linked to, but it's not just United linked to him, is Maignan. Maignan, another player that Man United are linked to. Big up to Sully, by the way, with the super chat, says, I'm so quick to be manager out, but I'm tired. Keep Ruben Amorim. Yeah, I think people are exhausted of just being manager in, manager out, manager in, manager out. Amorim gonna bring me Lamine Kamara and Believer. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Stage 1 says to get Ruben Loftus-Cheek from us, Milan, please. Give us Reinders. Give us Reinders and we'll take Loftus-Cheek off your hands as well. But no, another crazy goalkeeper. So this came out of the blue, by the way. This came out of the blue that Manchester United are looking at Maignan as a goalkeeper target. He's got 2 years left on his contract. He's got are we in 2025? Or yeah, we're in 2025. Apparently, he's got 1 year left on his contract. Maignan. I just laughed. I can't lie. When I saw this, I thought, yeah, I watch AC Milan a lot this season. AC Milan have their own problems, yeah. But I'm sorry. I go to Milan. If Man United went to Milan, AC Milan, and they walked away with Maignan, I'd be so angry. I would be so angry. There's so many other better goalkeepers. Joan Garcia is a decent goalkeeper, and he's affordable as well. I think he's got like a 25 million release clause or something like that. No. Maignan, you got the right idea, but the wrong... Excuse my language. Another Ohaha signing. Not even a Nana, just Ohaha. You lot are moving mad with the IC3. You lot are mad. Is he injury prone as well? Or am I waffling? He did have some injury issues. He did have some injury issues. This season, he hasn't had that much injury issues, but also I think he's not been that great this season. I'd take Owen and goal over Onana. At this point, I think everyone just wants Onana to leave, right? I think that's the general consensus. Everyone wants Onana out. Bring me Martinez. Emi Martinez, I think, is the most, I would say, reasonable transfer for a goalkeeper for Manchester United. In my opinion, I think he's the most reasonable one. In terms of the fact he's Premier League proven, he's good on his feet, good shot stopper. He's a wind-up merchant. Big wind-up merchant. I mean, I hate Emi Martinez. But if he comes to United, I'll support him. If he comes to United, I will support him. Would he give up Champions League to come to us? Well, there's no guarantee that Villa are in Champions League. There's no guarantee, I think, that they're in Champions League. I want Hermansen from Leicester as a goalkeeper, the guy that conceded like how many goals this season. If I went to Leicester and I walked away with Hermansen, I'd be annoyed. I would be really annoyed. There's better players at Leicester to walk away with. No UCL, no big names. Do United need big names? Flecken is a good goalkeeper. I like Flecken. Flecken is a good keeper. Let's be honest, this era of goalkeeping are underwhelming. I felt like that about left wingers. There was a time where I felt like that about strikers. Mina, are you El Canoes fan? I love El Canoes. Look at this. Let me show you something, yeah? Let me show you something. Ridwan. Uthman, sorry. El Canoes. Let me see if I can find it. I can't find it. I was tweeting about El Canoes before he joined Leicester. That's how long I've been watching him. Can we bring back Kova at least? United need 2 goalkeepers, right? United need 2 goalkeepers. They need a backup goalkeeper because Bayinder's probably going to leave. And if they're going to sell Onana, they need another goalkeeper. Another player, by the way, who has been confirmed to leave, Victor Lindelof. Victor Lindelof has been confirmed to be leaving Manchester United in the summer as a free agent. Fabrizio Romano reporting earlier today that Manchester United and Lindelof have decided to part ways at the end of the season following a meeting that they had this week. And Lindelof has proposals from Italy and Spain. He will leave as a free agent. You see this, yeah? He knew he was leaving. Did he come out and do madness after the Europa League? No. He didn't. So it's not that hard to just be quiet after the final, after losing. Even the fact that he played in the semi-finals. So he could have come out afterwards and been like, I played in the semi-finals. Why did I get dropped? I've been here for this long, this experience. By the way, he's one of 5 players, I think, that was at United when we lost in 2021 as well. But like this is what you just call a professional footballer. It has never been, for me, he's never been the number 1 choice for a lot of people as a centre-back. But he's been criticised. People have been criticising him. When him and Maguire were playing as the centre-back duo, people were calling them dumb and dumber. Dumb and dumber. Just kept quiet, went about his business. Sometimes it wasn't of the best quality, but he went about his business, played, kept it moving, and now leaves. It's not that hard to keep your head down and just be a professional. That's it. I think he'll do okay wherever he goes. If it's Italy, Spain. I think Italy might be more suited for him. Man has always got injury during transfer window. You know what? I never actually believed that until I just saw him before December get injured just before the January transfer window when Man United were reportedly looking to sell him. Just quickly on the topic of selling people, because obviously this is the biggest topic of discussion right now. This is the biggest topic of discussion right now. Let me get up a picture of Bruno Fernandez. Let me get a better quality picture up on here. Okay, I said a better quality picture, and this is I found a picture of him nearly in tears. We got to talk about Bruno, guys. We got to talk about Captain Bruno Fernandez to Al-Hilal, which is more and more looking likely, according to my sources, It's just a matter of convincing him, and he's not that far away from being convinced. Apparently Ruben Amorim has said that he does not want him to leave. He does not want him to leave. Now, Al-Hilal, I need to bring up the numbers, guys, because sometimes I think money just sounds fake. So Ruben Amorim, before in a press conference ahead of tomorrow's game, was asked about the offer from Al-Hilal for Bruno Fernandez, and he said it's important for Bruno to see that we are changing a lot of things in our club, the behavior, the everyday organization, the pace of training, all those things. If he sees that we are doing that across all levels, he will stay. He loves this club. So it seems like again, this idea of change at Manchester United is being pushed. Now, the Muppeteers, James from the Muppeteers said that Man United are thinking about Bruno Fernandez's offer from Al-Hilal, and there is a strong possibility that Bruno could leave in the summer. Now, the package that's being offered to him, I mean, guys, if that was me, I would have been gone. Like, I would have been gone so quickly, you wouldn't be able to blink. You wouldn't be able to blink. I wish I could find the package. Here it is. So reportedly, Bruno Fernandez is being offered a 3-year contract from Al-Hilal that is worth 231 million euros, tax-free. Again, this is none of our business. Why are we pocket watching? Don't know. I'm just curious. His salary will be 77 million a year, which is about 6.5 million a month, which is 1.5 million a week, which is about 200,000 per day. What he could make in a day in Saudi, some people might never touch in 10 years of their life, which is ridiculous. However, that aside, because obviously that doesn't impact us, right? Salary is none of our business. Man United sources reiterate that they do not want to sell Bruno, their captain and their best player, but the club are under even greater financial strain after the loss to Spurs, which cost them around 100 million in Champions League revenue. Now, Al-Hilal have set Bruno Fernandez reportedly a deadline by this coming week, the end of the week. They've set him a deadline to accept the offer. They want an answer by the end of the month and are hopeful that he can be persuaded to leave. Like I said, Al-Hilal are ready to offer him 100 million. They're ready to offer 100 million, for Bruno Fernandez to Manchester United if he accepts their basic offer of 700,000 a week, which is about €1 million, and up to 65 million a season, plus signing on fees and bonuses. Mainoo, what's your package to move to Al-Hilal fan channel? They gotta give me like $1 million a year. If they gave me $1 million a year, I'd go. $1 million a year. That means I could comfortably get my relatives to quit their jobs, and I can give them like if I give all my siblings like a 150k salary each, I would still have some money for myself if they gave me $1 million a year. I wish that would happen, but it'll never happen. Now, 100 million, it sounds like what is the threshold that they are willing to offer for Bruno Fernandez. Now, I can't lie. In an economy where I've seen players go for more that are not of the level of Bruno. Now, it's also been reported that Bruno Fernandez is tempted by the idea of making that much money towards the latter stages of his career. I don't know if he's going to accept it. But I just feel like if he accepts it, it's such a bad part on Ineos's part again. Because why did you bother giving him a contract bumper last summer when he was linked to a move then as well? I don't get it. If you knew last summer he was being tempted away to other clubs, why would you then waste your time on giving him that bumper and then saying, you know what, we're actually going to sell you? Minna, am I being greedy for 120? I wouldn't. I don't think 120 is I think 120 is reasonable. I mean, Florian Wirtz is going for how much? Around that price? I'm not saying that they're of the same level. They're two different types of players. But Florian Wirtz is still early in his career, so Liverpool are buying that potential that he has. Whereas Saudi are probably buying the ready-made player, right? Now, Saudi, Al-Hilal guys, have money to spend. Al-Hilal have money to spend because they are owned by the PIF, the Public Investment Fund, which is a sovereign wealth fund that sits directly under the royal family. The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia own it. and they reportedly have 600 million to spend this summer, because Al-Hilal, Al-Nasr, Al-Ittihad, and I can't remember the other team. There's 4 teams that are owned by the PIF, and because Al-Hilal are one of the bigger teams in Saudi, and on top of that, they are in the Club World Cup as well. A lot of money is being pumped into them to be able to buy players. Now, if we look at Al-Hilal and who they have, it's crazy because I thought Kevin De Bruyne would go there. I thought Kevin De Bruyne would go there. If you want to talk about who plays for Al-Hilal, Mitrovic plays for them, but it's reported that he's probably going to leave in the summer. Salim Al-Dasari, who's the best Saudi player in the league, plays for them. João Cancelo plays for them. Bonu plays for them, the old goalkeeper from Sevilla. Milinkovic-Savic plays for them. Renan Lodi plays for them. Ruben Neves plays for them. Kalidou Koulibaly plays for them. So they have a list of players that play for them of of a certain level. You know what I mean? So so yes, Bruno can leave Man United and probably would not be of a like, he won't be winning anything historic, but he'll be competing in, I think, what is a relatively competitive league, number one, because Cristiano Ronaldo's been there for how many years and he still ain't won a title with them. He hasn't won anything with them. I think he's won 1 trophy with them. And also the Asian Champions League is very competitive. It's not of the same quality and level as the European Champions League, but it's still a very good watch. Now, what's the Saudi transfer record? I think it's the Neymar deal, yeah, because Ronaldo went there on a free. So Neymar is the record. They were trying to buy Kylian Mbappe for like 600 million euros, and they were willing to buy him for 2 seasons and then let him come back to Europe when he was beefing PSG. So that is their record. I think they've tried to entice Vinicius to join in, but he's got no real interest in going to the Saudi league either. But 100 million is chump change for the Saudi league, guys. Saudi transfer records. Let me show you guys something, and then you will see how I actually think 100 million is a little bit disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Oh, right, it's not 100. Damn, it's not that disrespectful, guys. Because apparently he will be the most expensive player to go to the Saudi league. Why did I think Neymar cost way more? I genuinely thought, but to be honest, you know what it is that when reporters are reporting about the Saudi league and transfers to the Saudi league, they report the package, quotation marks, which is the transfer fee, agent fee, salary, etc. So they'll be like, oh, a package of 600 million, when really the transfer fee is this much of the package. They paid for an injured Neymar. They did. John Duran was probably the biggest signing I can think of. Even Moussa Diaby, for me, when he left Aston Villa after a season there, was odd. It was odd. But PSG had to cash in on Neymar because, you know, Neymar played like 1 game for them. Neymar played like 1 game. He played like, okay, maybe not 1 game. I'm being dramatic, but he barely played any games for them. Otavio, 60 million. And look at them. It's all Al-Nasr, Al-Ittihad, Al-Hilal, Al-Ahli. That's it. Mitrovic, 52 million. Ruben Neves, 55 million. Fabinho, 46. Ivan Toney. Look at that. 42 million for Ivan Toney. You guys know damn well Brentford was never going to sell Ivan Toney to Man United for that price tag last summer. Milinkovic-Savic, Simikan, who was a baller. I can't believe he went to the Saudi league. Mahrez, Sadio Mane, Gabri Veiga, who's actually linked to going back to Porto now. Jota. So this ad, it's crazy. When people talk about the Saudi league, they talk about obviously the financial implications of it, and how much money they're willing to spend in the Saudi league on players. But they don't be paying extravagant transfer fees. They don't pay extravagant fees. Yeah, they might pay you a lot of money to come play there, but they don't like to be forced by clubs to pay a wild amount of money. Saudi's not really like that. Clearly, I don't know, man. The salaries that they be making there. Malcolm, 60 million needs to be looked at. Yeah, that was crazy. But it's that summer window where they were just buying so many people, right? That 24-25 season, they kind of slowed it down a little bit. in terms of who they were buying in the summer transfer window. And I think also this summer now, there's more clubs that are owned by private Saudi companies. So like Al-Qadsiya is owned by Aramco, which is the biggest oil company. So there's other clubs that are being brought by other big investment companies outside of the government. Aramco is still owned by the government, but it's not the PIF, it's not the Sovereign Wealth Fund. So it's kind of different. How much do you think you will be selling for this window? My guess is 250 and you keep Bruno. How much we'll be selling in terms of how much money we will make how much money we will make in this window? That's quite difficult to kind of that's kind of difficult because what I price players at might not be the same as what, you know, other people price players at. But if we talk about Rashford is 40. I think Sancho is like 30. 20 to 30 for Sancho, 30 for Anthony, 30 for Højlund. It's just a bunch of 30s in the team, basically. Who else? Luke Shaw. Well, I'll take 10 million for him. I'll take 10 million for him. But I don't. 250 is a lot of money. I don't see United making 250. United don't sell well. Let's look at here. United's history of selling. Man United selling. All right, let's look at here. This is last season. Man United made last season. Last summer we made 100 million euros from selling people, and even then, we really only sold 1, 2, 3, 4 players for more than 10 million euros. So we made just around 80 million. We made just about 80 million pounds. The summer before that, Man United made 58 million euros. United don't sell. So if United somehow found a way to make 250 million in one window from selling people, that to me that sounds like a dream that I would love to come true. But I just do not see it happening, unfortunately. I do not see it happening. I do think, though, that Ruben Amorim needs players. So recruitment this summer is going to be so important. So important that I feel like before we can predict, don't ask me to predict the window, to predict next season, because I need to see how the window pans out. And I'm looking at the players that United bring in early. That's how you want to know if people are serious. Look at Liverpool. Look at Liverpool. Yes, they just won the Premier League, so they have way more money to spend than us. But they're making moves early. You know, Arsenal are linked to Rodrigo. They're linked to Benjamin Sesko. Manchester City are linked to Reinders. You know, people are already strengthening their teams, and it's reported that Man United's first announcement could come this week. I don't know how likely it is, but it's been reported that Manchester United's first announcement could happen this week, straight after the Aston Villa game. And it could be Matheus Cunha. But for me, if United announced Matheus Cunha, or they've agreed personal terms with Matheus Cunha, if it was announced immediately after the Aston Villa game, you know that's just to shut fans up. That's just to shut fans up for what this season has been. And I don't think Cunha is the only answer for, how do I put it? It's a big puzzle that we're doing a 1,000-piece puzzle right now, and Cunha is the first piece that you put down. But there's still 999 pieces to go. 1,000-piece puzzles are no joke, guys. It's so hard. It's so tough. I can never finish it. But again, is Man United, I don't know if hindsight is going to be a thing, but I feel like we're going to look at Man United at the end of the summer transfer window and think, was it a good idea to spend 65 million on Matheus Cunha, which is a lot of money? Let's be real. It's a lot of money. I was expecting the announcement after the defeat of Tottenham. Yeah, I was expecting it then as well, but I thought also because even though Wolves have nothing to play for in the league, they just wouldn't announce it. Dean Howson was announced to leave Bournemouth because he's leaving the league. If it was Liverpool or Chelsea that was buying him, I don't think they would have announced it until the season has ended. Mbeumo is needed. If Man United can find a way to get Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, That's good business. But again, not the sole answer. Now, I don't know if this is worth anything, if this has any value, but David Moyes has reportedly met with Liam Delap and his entourage and has presented Everton's plan and project to him. Here you go. Yeah, Everton close to taking over Delap, it seems. Yeah, so Man United could lose out on their striker target. If Man United lose out on Liam Delap, for example, they have to go out and buy a Gyökeres or Osimhen, or worst case scenario, United might line up with Højlund up front next season. Like, it can generally happen if Everton snatch Delap from under our noses. And I'm not saying that Delap is the answer, but if Man United are fully invested in signing Liam Delap, then you don't let another club take him, right? We are linked to Mateta. That is another player that we are linked to. I just don't know how much, again, I don't know how much they would be willing to sell him for. That's my only point with Jean-Philippe Mateta. How much? Crystal Palace are not an easy team to negotiate with, right? Definitely not for Premier League teams. Definitely not for Premier League teams. Now, if Man United lose out on Liam Delap, I think if they are able to get Mateta, what's a reasonable price for Mateta? What do you guys think is a reasonable price to get Mateta in through the door? I think anything between, I don't know. I think anything between 30 to 40 is good business. I think anything between 30 to 40 is decent business. Given the fact that, again, Mbeumo Montero, 40 million hairline tax is mad. Hairline tax is mad. 45 million. Eze's release clause is too much. Eze got like a, what is it, 60 million release clause, 65 million release clause. Shane says 20 to 30 million. He has 1 year left. That is another thing. Also, another thing is how likely are Crystal Palace going to sell Eze and Mateta in the same window? I think Eze is likely to leave 100%. I think Eze was unfortunate to not get a move, and I don't know if it's actually a good idea for Eze to leave Palace where he's comfortable and he's thriving with the World Cup next season. But Crystal Palace have European football. You lot are talking about Jonathan David, but Jonathan David is linked to Napoli and he's linked to Juve. Vlahovic is expected to leave, but I feel like every summer we're talking about Vlahovic leaving Juve. I just feel like the number of strikers, quality strikers that will be available on the market, I just feel like it's the closer we get to the transfer window opening, the closer we get to less quality and great strikers being available. I think the best strikers that are available on the market are either they're gonna go to Liverpool, they're gonna go to Arsenal, hell, they might go to Chelsea, or Isaac will stay at Newcastle, which I think will happen unless Liverpool go and drop 150 on him. They've just spent 100 million or close to just above 100 million. I think that's what they're spending on Florian Wirtz. So I don't see them spending that on Isaac. So I see Isaac staying at Newcastle. Outside of, that, if Barcelona are looking to move on Lewandowski in the next 12 months, strikers are going to be eyeing up Barcelona as a target. Man United are going to become a small fish in a big pond when it comes to the transfer window, guys, and attracting seriously good players. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one that's worried. I don't know how you lot feel, but I don't know if I am the only one that's worried about how Manchester United's transfer window could pan out to be. And we've got over 240 people here. Let's try to get 200 likes, guys. We're not that far off. We are really not that far off. And it really helps with the algorithm here on the channel as we grow the channel, especially throughout the summer transfer window. If you are new here, welcome to the channel. I do daily streams here on the channel, Man United News, daily videos drop in, or not daily videos, but regular videos drop in of other clubs as well throughout the transfer window. So turn on your post notifications. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get badges, you get emojis, custom member content. All of it is only available for members. And obviously, it supports the growth of the channel. If you want to support the channel in alternative ways, you can by sending in super chats. We got a super chat goal on the stream today. And your support is well appreciated. You can send in super chats with your comments, with your questions, with your thoughts, or just to show some love. What should I have for dinner today, guys? We were talking about it on the watch along earlier, and I said I was going to ask this stream, what do you guys think I should have for dinner? Because I'm going to sit down. I've had a really long day. You know, the content has been contenting, recorded a video, edited a video, made my thumbnails, did a watch along. Now we're here. So I'm tired. I've had a long day. I wanted sushi, Steph, funnily enough. The joke's on you. I did want sushi, but I'm also thinking, should I get Wingstop? Should I get a Pepe's rice box? Should I treat myself to a takeaway? But also, I don't like to eat after 8 o'clock, and it's 8:30, or it's 8:25 right now. And I hate eating after 8 o'clock because I just feel sick. Jerk chicken. I had jerk chicken already in the week. Ordered a pizza myself. I can't eat cheese, unfortunately. I can't eat cheese. Crisp and bread. That's poverty meals, man, that I eat. Tesco meal deals. Tesco meal deals. What do you know about a cheese sandwich from Tesco with prawn cocktail crisp? 10 out of 10. Salt and pepper chicken box meal. That sounds like a shout. That sounds like my Pepe's rice box meal. Couscous. I don't like couscous. Sorry. I don't really like couscous. Lean protein, potato, and a veg. Where's the rest of the foods? Red Scare Claire. Chicken salad. It's Saturday night. You want me to eat chicken salad? No, you are not helping me, man. You guys are really, really not helping me. Is there anything else that we've actually missed throughout this stream? If you have missed it, I mean, you possibly cannot have missed it because it's the biggest conversation right now. That you just insulted our whole North African culture. Just because I don't like couscous doesn't mean I'm insulting it. I don't really like couscous. You know what I really like though, North African cuisine. It's a specific type of salad. I think it's a specific salad. It's got olive oil in it and all of this stuff. I don't know what it's called. I really don't know what it's called. But in case you've missed the biggest conversation, you're mad. You think I'm going to eat maize and stomach? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Thoughts on Mainoo? Go on then. Let's talk about Kobbie Mainoo. I still can't believe, personally, that he got sent on in the 89th minute. Like, do some of you guys ever just sit there and think, wow, Ruben Amorim actually sent him on in the 89th minute? And you got Garnacho crying in an interview after the game, saying he only got to play 20 minutes. By the time Mainoo came on the pitch, the ref blew the whistle, man. Near enough. Kobbie Mainoo probably spends more time on a treadmill in Carrington than he did on the pitch in the final. Like, I can't believe it. I worry for Mainoo. Mainoo wants 200k a week. He can be sold as well. You know, I don't ever believe anything of players' salary demands in the media. I don't ever believe it. Do you know why I don't believe it, guys? My logic is that I fully believe that the club plants stories in the media. They've got journalists that they're close with. They plant stories in the media. Now, I also believe Kobbie Mainoo's team, probably agents in that, put stories out, but not stories of salaries, more so that he's looking at his options to leave. Because Man United were already briefing the media that Kobbie Mainoo and Garnacho could be sold. Remember? So to paint him in a bad light, Man United are briefing media saying, yeah, we're looking to sell him because he's asking for 200k a week. Yusuf is on stuff today, but also Yusuf also said that Garnacho should go for 80-90 million, and he also said that he would want Garnacho to stay and Kobbie to leave. I remember in January and in last summer as well, when there was talks about potentially, you know, United needing to sell players and Kobbie and Garnacho, both their names popping up. I would be honestly so shocked if United sell Kobbie Mainoo. The only thing that I can imagine that Kobbie Mainoo gets sold, and the only reason he gets sold is because there's nowhere for him in the team. Like, there's nowhere for him in Manchester United. There's nowhere for him. Why is my nephew calling me back this time? Hey, Hub, are you okay? I'm on stream. Sorry, I just called you like 12 hours ago to say happy birthday. Oh, okay. Well, happy birthday. It's practically the end of your day now. Yeah, what you been up to? Just chilling. Okay, cool. Well, don't forget Monday, okay? Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye, Hubble. Hello. Yeah. Why are you quiet for? I just said bye, Hubble, and then you just went quiet. Okay. Love you. Bye. Yeah, guys. Sorry, guys. It was my nephew's birthday today, and I called him like 12 hours ago, and he's only calling me back now. He's only calling me back now, and he's like, "Yeah, you called me." I'm like, "Yeah, I called you like 12 hours ago." Teenagers, man. Teenagers. Big up to him. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Anyways, back to the topic of Kobe Mainoo. Yes or no? Mainoo gets sold this summer? Are you guys down for it? Are you guys up for it? And if so, how much? Because I am worried about where he fits in at Manchester United with Ruben Amorim. I am a little bit concerned. I feel like Ruben Amorim can't find anywhere for him. He probably doesn't see him as a 10. He don't see him as an 8. Maybe he sees him as a 10, but he feels like there's better 10s. There's, United's playing with a double midfield, a double two centre mids, essentially, ball winners. He's not really that. Where does he play? I'd be sick if he gets sold. Honestly, I'll be sad. I'll be disappointed. But I also hear, Stu says it here, we only need a 20-man squad, a 21-man squad next season. I do think that Man United are looking to trim their squad. I think Man United are looking to trim their squad. And when they do that, I don't think anyone's, like, generally speaking, I think the only people that are safe at Man United are players that have impressed that Ineos have brought in. So I think Yoro is safe. And I think Mazraoui is safe because he's a good professional. He's been good this season and he didn't cost much. So he's cost effective. I think De Ligt maybe could be safe. I think Joshua Zirkzee might be on the chopping board this summer. I really think that they could look to sell him. And I think outside of that, I think Ahmad might be safe. But other than that, I don't think anybody is safe to be sold this summer. If the way Man United is probably looking at things right now, everyone's got a price tag. And if the price is right, I think there was a TV show called The Price is Right. But if the price is right, Man United will flirt with the idea of selling anybody because right now, we've got broke billionaires. Come on, Zirkzee ain't going nowhere. I don't know if that's true because we're seeing, reports in January that he could have left. Obviously it completely changed. I think his path at Man United changed after the transfer window in January. But it also was reported like a week or two ago that, there was teams in Italy that were interested in Joshua Zirkzee. And the way that he was crying, guys, after the final, I have to find the picture. The way he was crying like he's never cried before. Like, well, this is a cry. Oh, I don't even think I can find a big picture because honestly, when I saw the way he was crying after the game, he was crying like he's never cried before, and he was keeping those tears in for like 50,000 years. I don't think there's anyone that will survive this summer just because United don't want to sell them. I think even if United don't want to sell people, they might still look to sell them if the price is right. Probably just frustrated that he worked hard to get back to lose. That's true. That's true. He got injured. He isn't fit for tomorrow. What do you mean? He got injured again? He got injured again? Is that what you guys are saying? Order your food, Mina. I should. You know what? I'm gonna do it on stream. Do you guys use Uber Eats or do you use Deliveroo? I think I'm gonna go with a rice box. Let me see. Well, like, the price of Uber Eats is crazy, man. I'm gonna get a chicken and rice box. This is what I'm getting, guys. I don't know if you guys can see. Chicken, rice, chips. I don't really eat the chips. Deliveroo. I only use Deliveroo when I'm ordering on Wingstop. That's it. I don't really use Deliveroo. Biryani bandits. Far from that. Far from that. Cool. Mango and lime, because you know me, guys, I don't really eat chili food. The fun fact about me, guys, I used to order plain all the time. And I only just started ordering mango and lime like in the last month or so. 11.79. Yo, 11.79 is a lot of it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. I'm looking at the price right now thinking I should just go to the kitchen and make some food. I should just go and cook. And I already ate out this morning as well. I went out, I had breakfast. So yeah. Maybe I should just guys, should I just go into the kitchen and order? Should I go into the kitchen or should I order? And don't tell me to go back to the kitchen, because if you tell me to go back to the kitchen, then I'm gonna block you on the channel. Drinks, I don't want any of these drinks. Let me get a garlic mayo dip. None of these drinks really are my type, but I'm gonna order that. Make something or you'll never get that new chair. I got a new chair. Minna should eat vindaloo to show her toughness. Are you crazy? Make your own food in your kitchen, save money. It's true. I spend way too much money sometimes on ordering food. Actually, I don't even order food that much, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I don't order food that much. Go to the kitchen and then make the order. That's a cheat code. But basically, I have one day a week where I'm allowed to have takeaway. That's like my treat to myself, right? And I haven't had it this week. So 15.38. Flipping hell. Can you cook nice though? Yes, I can. I'm a great cook, alhamdulillah. I make a good pasta, macaroni, chicken, meat, rice. Rice is my specialty because I like eating rice. Cool. Okay, let me order my food. 15.38. That hurts, man. What rice do you prefer? Jasmine? No, I prefer one that is called Naima. That's the brand. But the quality of the rice is it's not pilau rice. It's got another name. I don't know, man. My mom just buys it for me and tells me to come pick it up every time she gets it for me from the local shops. All right, guys, food's been ordered. I already know what I'm gonna watch. Basmati. No, it's not even basmati rice. Why are we talking about rice? Guys? We ain't got to talk about rice, but basmati rice is good rice. That's good. It's just about how you cook it as well. It's all about how you cook it. But just last question before we actually wrap the stream up. Kobe Mainoo, keep or sell? And if you say sell, what's the price tag? Because I would say keep in the instance that I don't want him to be sold. But with saying that, I think anyone will get sold. I think just like I don't believe there's a way back for this guy here. I don't think there's a future at Man United for Marcus Rashford, unfortunately. So that means Anthony will leave, Sancho will leave, Rashford will leave, Garnacho will leave. Every wide player that Manchester United have is gone. The only other wide player that Man United have is Ahmad. Ahmad is the only other wide player. We should build the team around him. I actually made a video about Kobe Mainoo ages ago. It must be like a year and a half ago now, saying that they need to build the midfield around him. Kid's not worth that much on the market. How much do you think he's worth, Aaron, on the market? When you look at the market, are you looking at his age group? Are you looking at the position that he plays in? What are you looking at when you're thinking about that? 45 to 50, that's reasonable. Sell, put funds towards a more athletic midfielder. You know what my worry is, guys, and I said this earlier. My worry is that Man United let go of a bunch of players to sack Amorim in October or November. And then you're back at square one and you're like, why did I sell all those players? Because I'm sorry, yeah? Yes, United have had a crap season. Yes, United have sucked. But when I look at the starting 11 potential that we had under Ruben Amorim, in terms of what the starting 11 could have been, if we weren't playing this back three, to me, that's not a 16th, 17th place team. Like, you're telling me a back four, a comfortable back four with Euro and De Ligt or Euro and Maguire, whatever. You got Mazraoui at right back and, Dallo at left back, hypothetically speaking, or switch it around, whatever. Then you got a midfield base of Kobe and Cass, and you got Bruno in the 10, Ahmad on the right, Rashford on the left, Xerxes up top. You're telling me that you genuinely think that could be a 16th, 17th place team? I don't think so. I don't think so. And also, what I also believe is that you should play players with Man United. The problem is that at the moment we're just shoehorning players into a system, right? Yeah, it's a bunch of players that don't fit what Amorim wants. But what about when Man United move away from that? Because when Ineos came in, when Wilcox and Vivell and Barada and all these football names came in to Manchester United, we were told that, you know, Wilcox would build up this system for Manchester United to play universally, not just the men's team, the women's team, the academies. They're going to play all the same type of football. I ain't seen that. We don't even need to talk about the women's team. And looking at the men's team, you're telling me that if Ruben Amorim leaves now, you're going to bring in a manager that plays a back three. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. So that's why I say also Ineos lied to us. I don't think he works in Amorim's system. If he wants to play this way, then Kobe has to find a squad that will suit him. That's unfortunate. You want to Baleba sell Kobe, that's half the fee paid. What if I wanted both of them next to each other? Is that me being spoiled, guys? Is that me being spoiled? That's what I want to know. It sounds like it will be Garnacho on the way out. I think Kobe's future is not safe, unfortunately. Rashford will leave. Anthony will leave. I mean, if Anthony wins the Conference League with Betis, we need to put an extra like 5 million on the price tag. We have to put like an extra 5 million on the price tag. But it sounds like it's a lot of players that could be on the way out. And I think that's all as a result of this calamity of a European final that Manchester United participated in. Big up to Steffi with the super chat, says like it up. You guys heard Steffi. You guys heard her. Make sure you guys hit the like button. What do we have coming here on the channel over the next couple of days? Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? I need to check my schedule. We have a video dropping after the Villa game, but I don't think it's going to be a reaction to the Villa game. It's more so going to be a reaction just to the season overall. We will also have Team of the Season video dropping tomorrow morning. That'll be the morning video that drops, inshallah, God willing. De Bruyne looks to land in Napoli. No, I wanted to go to Saudi. Are you serious? I saw that he was linked to Napoli, but I didn't think that there was anything really confirmed. Oh yeah, it sounds like he's heading to Napoli on a free transfer. Who is this guy that's reporting it? The reporter for Daily Mail. Okay. But yeah, we got a bit of content. We've got a bit of content coming tomorrow. And then Monday, Daily Dose. Daily Dose will actually be a bit earlier in the day. I think it'll be at 3 p.m. UK time. There might be nothing to talk about. And then we've got content dropping throughout the week. So you guys know what it is, man. Listen, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Big up to everyone that stuck around for the stream. Hit the like button on your way out. Welcome to all the new subscribers on the channel. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow, guys. Have a good night. I'm off to enjoy my food and watch some television. Have a good one, guys. Peace.